ICE just iced another presumed US citizen in Minneapolis. What is happening over there? Top comment: the person who was murdered was a 37-year-old male who was a legal gun owner of Minneapolis. From Status Coup News allegedly told to them from local authorities. Reddit admins are also suppressing news of this person's murder, extrajudicial execution. Top threads are being deleted within minutes of their creation. Whoa, Reddit, Humrisanasa commence event state. Date 12,426 another ICE murder in front. Live feed from top comment. Ups. Whoa, YouTube, come watch. App desktop and Vasranesbukholks 4. They just kidnapped an American citizen into the back of a pickup truck who was asking for EMT assistance. They are deploying tear gas and charging citizens that were witnessing the kidnapping. They are kidnapping 2 more citizens after pepper spraying them in the face after they were already restrained on the ground. The agents are regrouping and attempting to move vehicles into position after launching another wave of tear gas and pepper balling the crowds. Minneapolis local sheriff's department agents have been confirmed to be on site, helping ICE agents proceed through the neighborhood. Reminder: sheriff department leadership is an elected position. Citizens can vote to change it. Minneapolis locals are pleading with the local sheriff's agents to do something about federal agents killing their neighbors, now 2 in less than 2 weeks. Minneapolis Riot Police are now supporting ICE operations in the neighborhood. Federal agents have yet again deployed tear gas and pepper ball rounds onto the nearby crowds. The reporters at Status Coup News, the group providing the live feed, are taking a break due to the cold and extensive presence of tear gas. A reporter going beached was recovering on the side and has passed the live feed to a coworker. Federal agents have regrouped again into an intersection after local state agents drove into an alleyway. Reporters is back after their break. Protesters have formed a loose group, roughly 30 minutes 40 feet. The reporter is stating that local state forces and the state police commissioner have taken control of the scene of the murder. To what extent is still unknown. Federal agents allegedly refused access, but the local police forces with the commissioner's support got the federal agents to return to their intersection gathering point. The collection of protesters are now holding their hands up and chanting "Don't shoot." Reporters is taking comments from members of the community nearby. Locals are commenting they are unsatisfied with Governor Walz's action against ICE invasion of Minneapolis and are asking where are the National Guard deployments Walz claimed to be ready to deploy if needed. Protesters are slowly stepping closer to the federal agents' intersection grouping point. Chejin now coworker John are feeling the cold as they have stated losing feeling in parts of their hands. Locals seemingly giving the reporting crew more hand warmers. Live coverage of this event is being provided by Status Coup News here. Hatsmoy, YouTube, come watch. App desktop and Vasranesbukholks 4. I am unaffiliated and just relaying information. An obscene amount of riot control and federal agents have been deployed to the area as more local community members gather nearby. Some protesters sitting at the edge of the protesting group. The crowd is now chanting "Say her name Rini Good." The chant has changed to "Go home now." Tensions are rising as it seems agents are preparing tear gas canisters in their hands. Seemingly senior officers are advising agents on the line and pointing at specific protesters. Protesters and federal agents are within 15 feet of each other while protesters continue their efforts, voicing their emotions. Federal agents continue to occupy the intersection while armored riot vehicles are being positioned down the street. The chant has now changed to "We shout fuck ICE." The reporter is stating at least hundreds, if not close to thousands protesters have gathered, but also states the difficulty of assessing the size due to being directly on the front line of the protest. reiterating that a local member of the community was murdered today and emotions are high. The reporter and John the cameraman are now interviewing a local named Mitch, apparently an early witness of the federal agents murdering the Minneapolis local. I cannot keep up with their interview, but I'm sure it will become available from Status Coop News later. Hut. Agonizing pain is a strong takeaway. Mitch states they appreciates Walt's words, but now is the time for actions. Words will not stop the continued killings of their neighbors. Pepper spray and tear gas has been deployed against the crowd after agents and a protester fought over a wooden pallet. Agents are chasing and shooting protesters in the back, now retreating through clouds of tear gas. Protesters are attempting to return the tear gas to the federal agents. Reporters are stating that federal agents are actively trying to retreat but just trying to verify this information. Tried to ask local sheriffs, but the sheriffs stated they could not give information. Federal agents are now in their vehicles. Flashbangs are being deployed in the distance. Agents seem to have pushed protesters back down Nicollet, excuse me spelling. Groupings of federal agents are hurriedly jogging back to vehicles while other vehicles are now rounding the intersection where they were previously occupying. 26th Street and Nicollet. Edited as I measured. Echoes of flashbangs and tear gas can be heard as federal agents deploy them as they develop vehicle convoys. John air sheltering from the excessive use of tear gas on protesters attempting to follow agents as they regroup next to their vehicles. In excess of 20 canisters have been deployed just from John's live stream. Agents elsewhere are also deploying more. Protesters and agents are returning tear gas canisters with each other. John are attempting to weather the tear gas, but visibly is now non-existent. John have now taken a step from the main activities. Please continue watching from Hut. Whoa, YouTube, come watch. App desktop and Vasrnesbook 4. This is the end of my relaying of immediate information, but I will continue watching and edit any major happenings from this point. The person who was murdered was a 37-year-old male who was a legal gun owner of Minneapolis. From Status Coop News allegedly told to them from local authorities. This comes after local Minneapolis policing forces have come to take control of the situation. State authorities are telling people that they need to move south. They have arrived with armored riot control vehicles to the intersection that John from Status Coop News are live streaming from. Hundreds of protesters are on various sides of the intersection while local forces maintain a border on two sides. Potentially over 1,000 protesters. John Air on the front line, and it's impossible to see the whole picture. As of this comment, the protesters are holding their lines and have not headed local authorities' demands to move south. I'd like to comment that and John have been weathering the tear gas and pepper balls since they arrived. And John now interview Ron Easton. Ron is a veteran and 11-year resident of Minneapolis. This is not the country I fought for. At 76 years I don't want to be here, but I am compelled to be here.